What I ordered versus what I've got.
There's me trying to make it a nice peaceful start for you, and then my phone starts blaring. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Diane. I know you're the first on here. Not quite sure what my phone's doing now. Oh, it's doing all sorts of weird things. Hello, Jay. Hi, Lenny. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Karen. Hi, Tara. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Jez. You're absolutely right. I don't know whether you can see on there. Actually, a bench just down here. Deliberately not stood him in front of it. Yes, it is your beautiful boy. Oh, thank you, Tara. That's really lovely. Thank you for the welcome back home. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Bessie. Hi, Christine. It is a lovely evening. Hi, Lance. So if you saw my little short that I put on earlier, I put that on after I saw Nancy's comment on our behind the scenes Facebook group, where Peggy had mentioned about whether there was a live going on tonight, and Nancy quite rightly said that I could put a live camera up on one of the turnouts, because I can't take you out with Renske, because Renske has no shoes on at the moment, neither does Micah. Doubtson, who, I don't know whether you can see her over there, she's over there. Don't eat my phone, you've done that before. Doubtson's feet are very long and her shoes are rattling, so hence I've got you with Nero. Hi Trish, hi Paul, hi Nancy. Thank you for your very wise advice. Just stick the camera on the turnout. We're going one better than that, because we get a little bit of Nero. So Nero, let me just move him over. I got back, Bailey and I got back the early hours of this morning. Tamara came and picked us up from Manchester Airport. We did have a lovely time away, thank you. He's going to fidget now just because I'm talking, and he knows it's all about him. And it's nice to come back to sunshine. I'll give him scratchies, there you go. And I came out this morning, and first of all I was greeted by Hida, who I gave him a shout, and he looked up and he actually came over to me, which he doesn't always do first thing in the morning, and it was just really lovely. You know, I've really missed the boys and girls. Sorry, let me look at comments. Hi Katie, he has always got ants in his pants. Hi Mark, I did have a lovely trip, thank you. Sorry Katie, yes, I would go back to Croatia. It was fantastic. Although we were in the city, we did go out to the national parks, and I have got a few bits of video. I don't know whether I'll put a vlog on the channel. If I get round to doing it, then I will, but obviously the bear memorial is the priority at the moment. But yeah, no, it's a wonderful country. Anyway, Nero, I came out this morning, and after I saw all the others, I looked down into the orchard, and he was down there with no rug on, and he was absolutely crashed out, fast asleep. And I watched him for sort of about half an hour, and he sat up a little bit, and then he crashed out again. And as we know, he's not the toughest of boys, are you? Eh? So he's liking scratches there. He's a bit of a wuss, and he's not got the best immune system. He's not particularly strong, so he gets very tired being out, and it's taking him a long time to build up that strength. So I thought I'll bring him in for the day, and he can have a snooze. So he got out of bed, and he was quite sore on his leg, so I gave him an extra butte this morning just to keep him comfy. And once he starts moving on it, he's fine. You know, he's not fine, he's not 100% sound, because he never will be. But yeah, he was happy to be in and to have a little sleep. So rather than me keep talking, I will come back to comments every now and again. I'm gonna just give him a bit of a groom, because we've had such a lovely day today. It's been really nice. We've had Anne and Lynn, two of our wonderful volunteers here. Jodie's been here all day. We've had Jennifer, Liam, Ava and Poppy, their two gorgeous daughters here for the afternoon, and they were actually the winners of our Christmas raffle. that we did. So they come and spent the afternoon with us on the yard. They're now in stable stays with Hoitzer. They were going to have a carriage drive with Annie in the morning, but Annie wasn't quite right before I left. So, and I've done a little bit of groundwork with her today, but she's not fit enough to do a carriage drive. Hence why we're not doing that in the morning. But it's just been a really, really lovely day. I've managed to do a bit of work with a couple of them. Jodie's managed to work a couple as well. And as I say, Nero's been sleeping, but he's got grubby, so I'm just going to give him a bit of a groom, and I'll come back to messages every now and again. So just enjoy watching him. But let me know if you need me to put the camera up a little bit closer, or you can, I don't know whether you can see on there how much he's loving that. So I thought I'll give him a good massage, because actually, even though it's still August, they are starting to lose some of their summer coat. So as you do this, it's lifting up some of that loose hair again. And this is what can make them quite itchy, just as it did in the spring. It's nice and peaceful on the yard right now. I'm probably going to give him a little bit of a beard trim as well, because he's got a bit of 6 o'clock shadow going on there. Haven't you, Nero? Hmm? What else have I got to tell you? Obviously, the open day went really well in the end. And if you have seen the video that I put on, honestly, that moment at the end of the day, when the chap drove along with his mother, his elderly mother with dementia in the car, and just asked whether he could arrange her to see some horses at some point, and we had little jubbers there. It was, if you've not seen it, sorry, I should explain better. We were at the end of the open day, and we were all outside the orchard, and we just brought jubbers out the field, and this gentleman drove along, and he asked for me, and he said, oh, I've been told that, you know, you've got horses, and that, you know, my mum would be able to come and spend time with them. And I said, absolutely, and it's a shame that they've missed the open day. And I said, well, look, we've got jubbers here. And he said, oh no, she's fast asleep. She, you know, I doubt that we can, you know, wake her up. Anyway, he sort of opened the passenger door, and I took JB round, and he woke his mum up, and honestly, the look of delight on her face when she saw JB was just absolutely priceless. And it completely summed up what the open day was all about, and the effect that these horses have on people. And, you know, he said afterwards, I think Tamara sent him some pictures, and he said it's the most reaction that they've seen from their mum in months. And, you know, it's all to do with the horses. And just seeing little Mr. JB just brightened up her day. Which was so lovely, wasn't it? You'd have been in there in the car with her, wouldn't you? Let me have a look at comments in case I need to move the camera. Don't eat me. You're so rude. You're so rude. Just let me read some comments. Hi, Donna. Oh, monkey. Go back. There is a water bottle here that he can smash. Hi, Christine. Look like he's enjoying grooming. Yeah, it seems. Oh, wasn't she just, Donna? She was just lovely. She was really lovely. Right, okay, I'll put the camera back there. Don't be smashing anything. There, his little lips going. We've got Doubtson in the background. You can't see Hidder because he's behind the camera at the moment. we've got our beach walking day on Saturday, and the forecast is looking good. We do have probably one more space, potentially two, if there's anyone watching this who does want to join us. And it's a lovely day. It starts at the farm. We start here at 10 o'clock in the morning, get to spend time with them all. If you've not been before, you get to meet them all, and then we do some walking up and down from the field if you want to, doing a little bit of walking with them in the arena before we get them ready to travel to the beach, which takes about 40 minutes. And then we go for a nice amble on the sands, and it's just beautiful and relaxing. And you know, they're not silly, they're very sensible with it, they love it. So I know Diane and Donna, we've got you joining for the day, which is going to be lovely. As I say, you know, we have got space for one, possibly two more. So I believe Frey, I've deliberately been very good while I've been away and hardly looked at anything online because I needed to switch off. So apologies if anybody's contacted me and I haven't got back to them. I could have spent the entire day in the office today. I could spend the entire week in the office. I have so much to catch up on. But I wanted to spend a day with all of these, so that's what I've done. And with our visitors, and just catching up with Jodie and Frey and everything that's been going on. So yes, I will catch up with emails and messages very soon. Part of me did think when I wasn't going to do a live hack, I thought, oh, I can do some of that tonight. But actually, Bailey called me, and some of you may have picked up on the fact that he went to the Gordon Ramsay Academy while we were away, and it's really inspired him, and he's actually cooking us dinner tonight, which is going to be really lovely. So I might leave you in the turnout with Nero for a bit, or in the stable if he gets back and he says it's ready early. But yeah, I think that was probably a good investment, sending him on the Gordon Ramsay course, especially if he's going to cook for us. Oh, Nero. I think that's most of the rough hair out the way. What have we got? Hello, Jane. I was going to give you a shout later. So after Bailey's done me dinner, we'll have a catch up. Jane very kindly came and spent some time here while Bailey and I were away, and I know you were a wonderful help, Jane. Hi Maria, hi Jay. Cassidy, the beach walk is amazing. It's so lovely. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. We did two last year, I think one in June and one in August. So one was a group of young kids, which was really lovely. Yeah, we just had really nice groups of people, and we've got a lovely group again for Saturday. And no, if anyone asks, Nero's not going. Maybe one day. Eh? Has someone bitten you on your neck? Eh? Someone bitten you on your neck? Whoa, is that nice? Is that nice? Do let me know if you want me to move the camera angle at all. back in a second. Dale's looking very confused over there. Don't know whether you can see her on here. See her on here? Let's have a look. Yeah. Oh look, there's Bailey. Hi. Hi Bean. I'll turn the camera around so everyone can see you.
I'm trying to wave.
I don't know whether everyone can see you.
Hi.
Bailey's around there somewhere. Oh look, Nero's now trying to pull stuff off the wall. Honestly. Anyway, Bailey will come past in a minute. There's Doubtson over there. Tamara's just about to drive through. Back from shopping. At least the horses aren't stopping her coming through this time. That did make me giggle. She wasn't very impressed with me. Method in your madness, Tracy. Lots of delicious meals to come. Absolutely, Lindsay, you know. And, you know, one day we'll say hello to Tamara over there. Doubtson's not shifting. One day he has said that he'd quite like to cook for big groups of people, so you never know. You might all be able to come and have a Bailey meal one day. What's that, George? Jane, is George showing us how to get into sinking sand again on the beach walk? Well, let's hope not. Yes, George did get a little stuck last time, but we got him out, that's fine. Hi Ruth, is Bailey going to make chocolate cake for Anya? I know, wasn't that hilarious with the ginger cake? It was hilarious. Yeah, I'm sure Anya would love that. Always demanding attention, always. Right, where was I? What was I doing? Where are we at? I need to do your mane, don't I? Let's do your mane. Put a bit of mane and tail spray in, because it's a bit straggly, isn't it? There we go. This is great. This should be good timing, because by the time I'm finished with Nero, I've gone into the office and done a few bits and pieces. Hopefully dinner will be ready. Whereas usually I have to finish down here and then go and cook dinner. But no, he was very impressed with the academy, which is good. He wants to go back again next year already. Met a couple of other youngsters who've done it 6 or 7 times, which I think is a testament to how good it is. And they travelled along. The people have travelled from all over. Nero, don't. Nero. Come on. I'll come up near your head in a minute. Get your tail done. Right, shift your bum over. Go on. Go on. Boy. His mane's growing actually. It's a little bit shorter at the end here, but Get your forelock. Your little forelock. Get a block to stand on. I've got a block here somewhere. What was I saying earlier? I was about to say to you, yeah, Frey's been doing an amazing job, like on getting things updated on the website and dealing with orders. There's a few things to sort out now, but yeah, she's got Micah quilt on as well. So thank you everyone who's bought tickets for that already. And I think she set the date for that to be drawn as next Wednesday. So we'll do that after next week's live hack. Because hopefully I can take you on a hack next week. Oh, here's Bailey. What are you cooking me for dinner? I was just telling everyone that you're cooking me dinner.
Hello, human people.
The camera's round here.
Hello. I don't think you can see me, but hi.
Oh, I don't know. I think everyone can. Hold on.
Hi.
You can see on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. I am cooking mother.
Excuse me. Nero says, what are you cooking him?
Oh, you're not.
Oh,
I don't think.
Nero.
Can you feed horses fish?
No.
Oh.
No, they don't eat fish.
Do they eat
Although
meat?
it wouldn't surprise me if Nero tried. Because Nero likes to eat everything. Yeah.
He didn't actually eat meat once.
Did he?
Yeah, I accidentally fed him some meat.
Oh, that was a bit
And now
silly.
he's eating a brush.
So what are you making me?
I am making you wait. Oh, I have the recipe here.
You've got the Gordon Ramsay recipe.
That's actually why I have to go back up to recipes.
Right, can you stop eating the brush, darling?
Sticky mango roasted salmon with coriander pesto.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah.
But Nero has to have a look now.
Oh,
Eat it.
I will eat you.
Just watch he doesn't put his leg out at you. You are so cheeky, Nero. You are so cheeky. So cheeky. Right, let's just check.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
someone who can't be still. Oh, sorry, Inika, yes.
a flibber to gibbet.
So Lenny says hello, Bailey.
Hi. I do that. I'm gonna go start cooking because I only have.
Katie wants to know whether you enjoyed the Ed Sheeran concert.
Yes, it was absolutely amazing. Yeah. I'm sorry, I do actually have to rush off because
Okay.
I have 45 minutes until I need to.
Okay,
Be
wonderful.
serving our food.
What time do I need to be up there?
Aim 7:15. Oh wait, no, it's down in the cottage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Aim maybe 7:30 because there's no way I'm getting this done in 45 minutes.
Okay, 7:30. I can manage that. Yes, Nero is 6. Thank you for answering that, Diane. Right, I'm going to see whether he's going to let me give him a beard trim. It's not long. Will you stop? Will you stop? We don't like... We need to get rid of the 6 o'clock shadow. They very often like this because it's almost a bit therapeutic. It's like a little massage on their faces. Now he's going to start fidgeting because I said that. Don't be cheeky. So what have we got going on tomorrow? So tomorrow we've got Quattro flooring back in. Might actually just put his mane back before I chop it off accidentally. Yeah, we've got Quattro flooring back in to put the rubber matting down in the main stable in the barn. And we've had a big whacker plate here today to compact down all the stone in the boys' field. So all that big stone has now been whacker plated down, and I'll need to order in the next lot of stone that's going to sit on top of it that will make a much smoother, nicer surface for them to walk on. And then the shelter, the mobile shelter that we've ordered will arrive the beginning of September. Sorry, I'm just plaiting this out of the way so that I don't accidentally shave it, which wouldn't go down very well, would it, Nero? Are you going to sleep? Eh? You're sleeping in the sunshine. He's a very tired little boy. We have, you might have seen the video that Holland Frey put together about stop. 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 The block. Because we're changing all because we're without and our company to me they can help with the immune system, because we've had him on various supplements, just as we have Hannes over the last year, to help with his immune system to fight off, you know, further growth of the sarcoids. But I'm quite interested to see what this feed company are using. I know different things, you know, sometimes you can feeding 10 supplements, you only really need 1 or 2. Thank you. Nero's getting his manscape on, I like that. He's tired because of all the energy he exerts to be impish. Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. He's just got a very active mind. You know, he wants to be doing, and unfortunately, because he still gets quite sore on that leg because it's not fully fused yet, you know, he can't go out and do too much. So the best way for them to build up their natural strength is to be out in the field 24/7, because if they're standing in a box, they're not building up any general basic fitness. And then, you know, only when he's coping well with living out and being active the whole time can you really think about doing too much more. And, you know, we just have to play it by ear as to how much he can do, but it's about keeping him mentally stimulated more than anything. Because what I'd like to do is get to the point where, you know, I can take him out on some ride and leads, you know, perhaps take Ren and lead him along. Will you stop doing that? Beside Ren, because I think he'd thoroughly enjoy that, because he gets a change of scenery. But equally, I need the time to be out here, and it was one of the things that really hit me on holiday is it's not been good for me to spend as much time away from the horses as I have. You know, the ones that I generally work with, you know, they go a little bit feral if they're not doing anything. And, you know, as good and as well behaved as they are, that doesn't just always come naturally. You know, there's an element of discipline that's been instilled in them over the years. And unfortunately, with me being off the yard a lot of the time, you know, that can begin to slip. So I am going to try and improve the balance of how much time I'm spending in the office and how much time I'm spending out here. Because equally for myself, you know, I've spent my life learning about these horses and how to look after them, and it's not good if I'm losing the time to be able to do that. So it's fantastic that Frey's taking on, you know, some of the admin duties, which have increased an awful lot. But we are at the point where I think for me to be able to spend more time out here, doing more to look after the horses using the knowledge that I've built up over the last 20 odd years, it might be that we need to find a way to bring somebody else in to help out with the admin. But yeah, there's lots of things that I've been thinking about that Tamara and I need to discuss. But you know, first of all, you know, the priority obviously this year is to get the work done to improve everything for all the boys and girls for this winter. And as you know, we've got the 110k campaign running. I'm running that through now till the end of the year. We're at, I haven't put in the last few figures that have come in, because obviously, you know, I've been away and I've not caught up with that. But I think we're around about the 63k mark, which, sorry, wasn't on my last video, just because I didn't have access to the accounts to check it. So yeah, we've still got a little way to go, well, a fairly long way to go to get to that 110k. And on all my figures that I've done so far, for the work in here, the work in Hoytzer and Jubba's house, and the work down with the boys for them for the winter, you know, we are around about that 110k mark on all the estimates that I've had and the forecasts. So I will be putting together, rather than just telling you on a live, I will be putting together a video at some point, just to give you all an update on, you know, you've seen little clips of what we've been doing, but I think it would be interesting for a lot of you as well. I know some of you, you know, don't necessarily want to know the details, but I'd like to share with you, you know, some of the costs, because even if you're looking at doing some work yourself, I think it's really interesting to see what different work being done and what materials cost and what it costs to hire in equipment. I mean, you know, what we're spending on diggers is a substantial part of you know, the costs at the moment, because there's a lot of groundwork that needs doing. Oh, darling. Yes. And certainly the water connection has been quite costly through United Utilities, who Tamara was telling me yesterday they want payment up front before they even do a single thing. But that's fine. We can do that, thanks to all of you. Sorry, I just thought he should have a little treat. Carrots and apples. Oh, Doutson's heard. Doutson's heard about the food. You're going to have to share your carrot with Doutson. Look, I've got another apple. I've got another apple. Doutson is really rude. Oh look, Hidda's heard now. Hidda's coming over. See, that's the problem. As soon as I get treats out, they're all over. But it's not right for Nero to have them all. There we go, Hidda. Oh, you've taken most of that. So thank you everyone for your apple donations. Everybody, sorry I can't list everybody who's done apple donations. But yeah, got a few more pallets, not pallets, trays arriving later this week. And as you can see, they love their apples. And of course our orchard, you know, we've got the apple trees down there, but the apples aren't, you know, we don't get enough at the moment to be able to keep these supplied the whole time. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let me carry on grooming. Let me give him a last flick over. Let me see what else we've got on here. Was on my late shift and traffic home was dreadful, so I'm late. I expect a name and shame from Hol. She's not here, so you won't get named and shamed, Hol. Don't, Peg, don't worry. Yeah, Lindsay, you know, there are always hidden costs with any project, aren't there? But I'm hoping I'm fairly on track with it. Thank you, Jamie. And as I say, you know, I know a lot of people don't feel the need to know all of these things, but you know, I like to share it with you all, and actually I do it for me as well, because it's a great way of me focusing my mind on exactly what's happening and, you know, where we are with the whole project. Jay, it's difficult to get the balance right. I think we all struggle with that. Absolutely, it's, you know, it's a common human issue. But yeah, these guys need to come first and play nicely, Hida, play nicely. And you know, it's one thing that actually I've been a little bit conscious of over, you know, the last month or two, is that to a certain extent the focus, it hasn't gone away from the horses at all, and it never would, but I suppose because I've not been spending as much time with them as I always have done, I feel that my focus has gone away from the horses a bit more, which is why I need to spend more time with them. Katie, when is the big barn plans going to be revealed? That's still pending, right? You're absolutely right, Katie, and I do have the initial drawings, and I got some drone photographs. Oh, it's got to be 5, 6 weeks ago now, that I sent over to Richard, because he's having an artist's impression done for us, because the drawings that he put together, I mean, they're fantastic, and I love the whole concept that he's come up with, but it didn't show how the building would sit in amongst all the rocks and alongside the existing buildings. So I was quite keen for him to get the artist's impression done, just to really create the whole picture and the whole visual. So again, that's actually something that I need to follow up on my long list of things to do. But you know, obviously the focus this year is the 110k campaign for this winter's facilities, and then hopefully by next year we'll be able to move on to, you know, that bigger project, which is going to take, you know, several more years. Trish, I know they can sense food a mile off. Thank you, Jamie. I think it's really important, because, you know, what's the point of hiding anything? You know, you have to have a good memory to do that, because, you know, once you start hiding things, then if you forget what you've hidden, yeah. I'm all about openness. I'm probably too open sometimes. Jamie, I know you know that's a good idea. I have spoken to Tamara briefly. Yeah, I like the idea of doing things that make me happy as well. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, there's an awful lot I love about the admin side of things, you know, and keeping everything organised in there. You know, and admin is a really general word, because it covers so much, doesn't it? But I need to get a better balance. You know, I can't spend, it wouldn't be right for me to spend all day, every day grooming horses, and it's not about that. It's about, yes, that's an important part of it, but it's about working with them and explaining things to them about the rights and wrongs. And I know I haven't been able to spend enough time with Nero, even for the basics, which is why you're still so cheeky, isn't it? That would be good for a live, reveal the barn plans. Yeah, I just have to work out how I do that and share the pictures on the screen without just showing my phone like that. Yeah, that requires me to think about technology, and that's what takes up so much of my time. Anyway, I'm waffling again. Right, where are we up to? I haven't brushed your feathers, have I? I don't think I've brushed your feathers. Let's have a look. It's always important with Friesians, you know, with the feathers, to always feel in the bottom of them, because sometimes the feathers can hide skin problems in their heels, because a lot of them get bothered by the coreoptic mange mite, and then they can end up with lots of sort of little scabby bits with excess skin growth hidden under their feathers. So that's why you get your fingers in there and have a good feel round. And you can get great big thick folds in the skin sometimes. It's one of the reasons we clip their legs out, because it does allow them to breathe, because the coreoptic mange mite loves warm, damp areas, which if you think if their legs are getting wet, especially in the winter, when their legs are getting wet and it gets really warm in that area, then the mites tend to congregate in there and then irritate the legs, and then they get very, very itchy, don't they? Yes. Right, should we go and put you in the turnout for a bit? Yeah, let me take you over to the turnout for a bit. Lindsay, your skills would be lost if you spent all your time in the office. I know, because I'm forgetting everything all the time. The memory's going. Well, I'd like to think that I'd always still remember them, and I know that, you know, but it's like even the strength, you know, I've noticed that I'm a little bit weaker than I was because I've always been very fit. But of course, when you're sat behind a desk a lot of the time and not walking up and down the hill and doing things with the horses, you do lose strength. And it's all very well knowing how to do things, but then if you've not got the strength to do it. And it was interesting actually, because talking of that, something that Anne was here today, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind me mentioning, but she asked me to show her how to pick out a horse's hoof. And of course I picked a hoof up and just like straight away scrape the mud out, 2 seconds. And I don't think about the fact that that's really easy for me to do, because I know how much strength to use when I do it. And of course, because Anne had never picked a horse's foot before, when she picked it up, it took her a very long time to do, because she didn't know how much pressure to use on the hoof pick to get all the mud and the stones out. So sometimes it's easy for me to forget the strength that can be needed. If you've seen Nero when he's being cheeky going down the road and he tries to pull away from me, you know, that does take a lot of strength, and if you lose that, you won't be able to hold on to you. No. Right. I'll tell you what, rather than me putting him in a turnout, you can just follow him into the stable, because time's kicking on. Let me get his rope. Nero likes any kind of scratch, Judith. Why do you need different brushes for various parts of the body? Sorry, I'm ignorant on such things. Thank you, Lindsay. I knew that was what. Yeah, sorry, I didn't explain that very well myself. Hi, Christine. Different brushes for different parts of the body. I'll go through that. No, it's not about being ignorant. So, ow. I'm so blind. I smacked my head. Right, we have various brushes. Stop eating me. This is a really good one. This is a curry comb, and it's plastic. It's got like a serrated edge, and we also have this one, which is like a curry comb, but it has the ends are a bit softer. So this, it's quite hard, and these are a bit softer. So this is like a massage one, but both of these are really good at lifting loose hair out, or if don't put your foot in the grooming kit. So if they're muddy, they're very good for getting excess mud off as well, but you wouldn't use a hard brush like this around the face, because the skin is thinner, you know, there's not a lot of flesh on top of the bones, so you wouldn't use a hard brush around the face unless it was on the cheeks to get a little bit of mud off. And you wouldn't use one of the hard ones on the bony parts of the leg. So they're good to start with. Then you have what's called a dandy brush, which is like this. Have some patience. Which is a what's it like? This is quite stiff. It's quite a stiff brush, so again that's good for getting mud off and getting off. It's good on winter coats, of just getting the top level of dirt off. And then, I mean, there's all sorts of brushes. You've got this other one that's good for flicking off loose hair. Then, don't nibble my bum. Don't. This one. You're so cheeky. There we go. This one is quite a soft brush, so that's good. This one's quite dirty. That's good for doing the final shine on the coat and sort of smoothing the coat down. It's also very good for lifting out excess dirt. And this is another sort of curry comb that's very good for when you're using the brush. Once you've used it, you scrape the excess dust off with this brush. So you'd brush a few times like that and then scrape the excess dust off that you've lifted out of the coat. And there's various ones that you can get. You know, this doesn't always work well on a winter coat because the hair's much longer, but on a short summer coat it works well. And you can use one of these body brushes because they're soft around the face more, and you can still, you know, go in circular motions to lift hair out and lift grease out. So, you know, I've not given him a proper thorough groom today. When I used to work in the racing industry, and it used to be called strapping the horses, you know, you would spend an hour every night, you know, grooming your horses. Thank you for snotting all over me. And it can be quite physical, so it would literally be putting all your strength in like that, using circular motions to lift the hair before brushing the grease out. And you know, we could do that rather than bathing them, but we'd need a lot more people and we'd need a lot more time. And again, you can use this soft brush on the legs. And then we have the mane and tail brushes. These are a much harder brush. These are one of the ones we use. The others are the Tangle Tees. So we put the mane and tail spray on first. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Thank you. And then obviously with the mane and tail, you always start at the bottom, get the tangles out the bottom and work your way up. So that's, yeah, a little bit about the different brushes. Anyway, let's get him back in the stable. What we got? He is cheeky. Hi, Diane. CSI Canton. Also, I wonder if all the boys hang out in the field arguing about who's the most beautiful or gorgeous boy. Well, I think Hannes just assumes that he's the most beautiful all the time. Oh, I've got your Nero clip on there. Hold on. What have I missed? Hope you and Bailey had a great holiday. Hello, Nero, precious boy. Hope you're enjoying your pampering and treats. What a good boy to share. Yeah, I think he has enjoyed it, Diane. And he didn't really get much choice about sharing them. What else have I missed? What else have I missed? Oh, hi, big sis. Thanks for joining the live. How's it going with Bailey there, or down there? For the relation, Lindsay, for groomer and the horse, it's good for my arm muscles. It stops the bingo wings from getting too big. Nero the Phantom Nibbler of Greenbank. I like that, Joy. Oh, Peg, next time you do the friendship barn, I can always come in and show you with the brushes. That's not a problem. Jane, of course it's Hannes, the best looking, but I'm biased, honestly. Hi, Alta. I think you're Nero's favourite plaything today. I think you're absolutely right. You're very cheeky. Right, I'm going to see if I can move him with you on the camera as well. Look, we've got down Hidder there. Right, let me try and do this because we're on a tripod, so I don't know whether this will work. Right, come Nero, come back. Nero! Oh look, Hidder's trying to get into Nero's box. Look, there's little Mabel. There's little Pepper. She's only in because she's lost a shoe and her foot was breaking up. Doubtson, can you move your bum, please? Thank you. There's a bit of congestion in the barn. Hidder, don't be mean. Hidder, go on, move your bum. Nero's coming in. I know you want a stable, but Quattro are doing the flooring tomorrow, so you can have a stable tomorrow night. I promise. Nero needs to sleep because he's tired. Go on, Hidder. You go out there with Annie. Sorry, I don't know what this footage looks like because I'm just holding the GoPro beside Nero. Look, he's got Kathleen the carrot in here. Come on, little man. Right, you can come in and go to bed. Chat to Mabel over there. Sorry about the bad footage. Let me see if I can prop you on the side for a bit. Don't know whether I can. Hold on. I think this probably isn't going to work because it's very dark in the stable, and I didn't think about this, about how I could position the camera. So here, have a look at Micah. Micah's somewhere. Oh no, it's me. I'm not quite sure where Micah's gone. Micah's Annie, hello one. Lindsay. I haven't found where her last shoes have been put yet, so I need to find out from Frey tomorrow. Get her feet done last week, and I'm assuming Chris put new shoes on, and I'm hoping that her old shoes were kept, so I will find out about that and let you know. Let me go and grab my phone. Bear with me. Katie, no, I'm not going to put Nero out because it is getting late and I do want him to rest a bit more. So I'm going to leave him. Look, there you go, there he is. Oh no, he did have his head over the door. Have a look at these two for now. Hoytzer will give the other boys a good run for their money on the looks front. Yeah, I have to say, Peg, Hoytzer for me is what a Friesian should look like. You know, he's a big solid stamp of a horse. They don't make them like him anymore, or maybe they do. Yeah, the stables are looking great with the mats, and in here is the last one that's being done tomorrow. So Michael came while I was away and put the self-levelling concrete down, and then we've got Richard from Quattro coming in tomorrow morning to do that. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, if you don't mind, and go and get finished in the office. Yes, an Annie horseshoe is definitely a lucky thing to have. And Andy's studio, it's all right, you won't be on there. I'm just going to move the camera because Andy doesn't want to be on camera, which is absolutely fine. There we go. We'll just move back to floppy do. So, Hoyt's king of good looks, absolutely. Thank you, Nancy. I'm sure I will enjoy my dinner. Bailey actually bought me dinner as well for the first time ever while we were away, which was really lovely of him. Oh, there's Micah out there. Anyway, love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me on this rather random live. I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. You got to see your rainbow boy. It's lovely to be back, and I will hopefully bring you a hack next week. So good night everyone who joined. Thank you for joining.